Let's get right into it. Number 9. The lie that you rest in your sleep. So you think you're peacefully resting when you sleep. Think again. Every single night, your brain basically puts you in a controlled coma. First, it paralyzes almost every muscle in your body. Your brain releases chemicals that freeze all your voluntary muscles. It does this because your brain doesn't trust you. You see, during dreams, your brain is more active than when you're awake. Without this paralysis, you'd be physically acting out every wild dream. Picture yourself sleepwalking through that dream where you think you can fly off your roof. But sometimes this system fails. There are cases of people jumping through windows or attacking their partners while completely asleep. Meanwhile, as you lie there frozen, your brain is brutally deleting memories. Picture a bouncer at a nightclub, except this one's tossing out your personal history. Neural connections get severed left and right based on criteria you never agreed to, and you have zero say in which memories survive the purge. Number 8. The lie of a new you every 7 years. You've probably heard that your body completely replaces itself every 7 years, like getting a brand new car with 0 miles on it. Well, that's a lie, and the truth is way more disturbing. Your body operates more like a patchwork building, where only certain sections get updates. Your skin cells swap out every few weeks, the lining of your stomach refreshes every few days, but the neurons in your brain's cortex, the ones responsible for your memories and personality, are the same ones you were born with. They're ancient hardware running on borrowed time. Same goes for the cells in your eye's lens. Those are permanent fixtures that never get replaced. So while your skin might be fresh and new, your brain cells have been collecting damage since day one. Every concussion, every hangover, every all-nighter. They're keeping score. Claiming you become a new person is like boasting about a renovated house when you've only changed the curtains. The core components that make you you are slowly breaking down with no replacement parts available. Number 7. The Goldfish Memory Lie. So you know how everyone says goldfish have a 3-second memory? Well, that's a straight-up lie that's been used to justify some pretty dark stuff. Turns out goldfish can remember things for months, sometimes even years. Scientists have done countless experiments. These little guys can learn to solve mazes, tell different colors apart, and even recognize their owners' faces. That's right. Your goldfish knows exactly who you are. Picture being locked in a closet for your entire life, fully conscious. That's what most pet goldfish endure. They recall every monotonous hour of their cramped existence. They can even get depressed from lack of stimulation. And in proper conditions, goldfish can grow to be the size of a football, but in tiny bowls, they release chemicals that stunt their growth. So the only ones with memory problems are the humans who keep believing this lie. Number 6. The Lie of Conductive Water. You've probably heard this one since you were a kid. Water conducts electricity. But here's the thing. It's a complete lie. Pure water is actually an insulator. It's about as good at conducting electricity as a rubber duck. So why do people keep dying from dropping toasters in bathtubs? Because the water we deal with in real life is basically a soup of invisible nastiness. Every drop of water you encounter is filled with dissolved minerals, salts, and other impurities. These are the real conductors. Picture pure water as an abandoned road with no traffic. Electricity has no pathway to follow, but toss in some minerals and salts, and you've created a superhighway for electrical current. That pristine-looking pool water has chlorine, minerals, and probably a bit of pee in it. That crystal-clear stream is full of dissolved rocks. You're not really afraid of the water. You're afraid of the invisible soup of charged particles hiding in every drop. Scientists can make water so pure that you could safely stick a live wire in it. But if you tried to drink this super pure water, it would actually kill you. It's so pure that it would suck the minerals right out of your body cells, making them explode. Number 5. The Lie of the Cosmic Vacuum Cleaner. You've probably heard that black holes are like giant space vacuum cleaners, just sucking up everything in sight. Well, that's about as accurate as saying your cat understands quantum physics. The truth is way more horrifying. Black holes don't simply consume objects whole. They shred you into cosmic ribbons through a process scientists literally named spaghettification. As you approach, the gravitational pull on your feet becomes dramatically stronger than at your head. This difference literally stretches your body like medieval torture. Your molecules get ripped apart in a grotesque cosmic taffy pull. You're not being consumed. You're being unraveled atom by atom. And this isn't instant death either. You remain conscious through the initial stages of molecular disintegration. Eventually, the stretching becomes so extreme that the fundamental forces holding your atoms together surrender. Picture the worst medieval torture device except it operates at the subatomic level. Number 4. The lie of exploding in a vacuum. You know how movies show people exploding like a water balloon in space? Yeah, that's complete nonsense. The reality is way worse. First, all the air in your lungs would try to escape at once. If you try holding your breath, your lungs would tear themselves apart from the inside. But here's where it gets really disturbing. Your bodily fluids start to boil. Not because it's hot, but because there's no pressure to keep them in liquid form. The moisture on your tongue, in your eyes, even your blood starts forming tiny bubbles. It's like having sparkling water for blood. You'd remain aware for roughly 15 seconds. That's enough time to experience your saliva fizzing on your tongue. You can't even scream, because there's no air to carry the sound. We know this because some poor guy actually experienced it during a vacuum chamber accident. The last thing he remembered before passing out was the feeling of his spit boiling on his tongue. After those 15 seconds, you'd black out from lack of oxygen. Your body doesn't explode, it just fails from the inside out. Number 3. The lie of the screaming lobster. You've probably heard that lobsters scream when they're boiled alive. That high-pitched noise when someone drops a lobster into a pot. Well, I've got some bad news and some worse news. The bad news is that lobsters can't scream. They don't have vocal cords. That noise you hear is just air escaping from gaps in their shell as it heats up. It's basically the same thing that happens when you open a soda can. Now for the devastating part. Their silence doesn't equal absence of suffering. These creatures possess surprisingly sophisticated nervous systems. When plunged into boiling water, they violently thrash and claw, desperately attempting escape. We've been using this "they're not really screaming" fact to make ourselves feel better. Like somehow that makes it okay that we're dropping living things into boiling water. Some countries have even banned the practice. So next time someone tells you don't worry, that's just the air escaping, remind them that silence doesn't always mean everything's okay. Number 2. The lie of the alpha wolf. So you know that whole thing about wolves having an alpha male who fights his way to the top? Yeah, that's complete nonsense. Turns out this myth came from studying wolves in prison. Scientists in the 1940s basically created wolf jail. They'd grab random, unrelated wolves and force them to live together in a confined space. The wolves started fighting and forming hierarchies, just like what happens in human prisons. Then these scientists were like, this must be how all wolves behave in nature. But when researchers finally bothered to study wolves in the wild, they found something completely different. Wild wolf packs are just families. The alpha pair everyone talks about is literally just mom and dad. The rest of the pack are their kids. No dramatic power struggles exist. It's basically a functional family unit where parents naturally take charge. Picture studying human behavior exclusively in maximum security prisons and declaring that's normal society. That's essentially our wolf research legacy. So next time someone starts talking about being an alpha wolf, just remember they're basically bragging about acting like a prison inmate. Number 1. The lie of Pavlov's bell. So you know that cute story about Pavlov ringing a bell and making dogs drool? Well, get ready, because that's not even close to what really happened. First off, there wasn't even a bell. Pavlov used buzzers and metronomes instead. But that's not the dark part. Pavlov wasn't trying to make dogs drool on command like some circus act. He was obsessed with studying digestion. And his methods were straight out of a horror movie. He surgically installed permanent drainage tubes in the dogs' throats called fistulas. These weren't minor modifications. He created biological faucets that drained everything before it reached the stomach. The dogs would chew and swallow, only to watch their meal pour out through their neck. His motivation? Collecting precise measurements of every digestive secretion. The famous conditioning discovery was merely an accidental observation. These animals were transformed into living laboratory equipment. The whole ring bell dog drool story we learn in school is just a nice fairy tale. It was basically a medieval torture chamber disguised as a lab. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.